The railways in Hungary are known for being slow, outdated, and in poor condition thanks to years of government underinvestment. But today, I'll be taking a ride on the newest generation carriages, the amazing InterCity Plus, fitted with the most luxurious interior ever seen on Hungary's railways. Join me as I travel from Szeged up to Budapest from the comfort of an exclusive premium first-class compartment, exploring all of the amazing features this seat has to offer and sampling the onboard service as we travel through the peaceful countryside. This is Hungary's best train. Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm here at Szeged in Hungary and I'm going to be travelling with MÁV Onboard, one of their InterCity Plus carriages. And for this journey I'm booked into the first class premium and I'm really looking forward to the luxurious journey up to the capital. Let's go! Good morning from the beautiful Szeged station here in Hungary's third largest city. I've been through here a few times now and I have to say I'm always impressed at how nice this station is. Szeged has an interesting tram network, and I say that because the system has two operators. Of course, there are the regular services run by the city's transport company, connecting the station with much of the city at frequent intervals. But more interestingly, the relatively new tram train service to Hódmezővásárhely. This is operated by MÁV, Hungary's state railway company, and the same one I'll be catching today up to Budapest. Both of these tram services start just outside of the main station. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a video on this unique tram train service. Anyway, it's time to head inside, and the inside of the station is just as impressive as its exterior. Szeged station is split across two levels. The entrance level features a few shops and seating. By the way, if you know what this Superalbs shop is for, let me know in the comments. Most of the station awaits upstairs, where you can enjoy a brilliant view of the chandelier over the entrance hall. There's a ticket office with the wooden design and tables making for a pleasant retro look, while a few ticket machines can be found around too. And this is the station's small cafe, complete with a view of the platforms. There's also a model railway with a small collection of old railway uniforms and locomotive numbers on display. And you'll also find various posters about the station's history too. Though what I wasn't expecting at this station was a shower facility. It's time to head back outside, over to the platforms. Szeged station is rather quiet, despite being the main travel hub for the country's third largest city. Across all of its 5 tracks, you will see just a few departures each hour, typically 2 to 4. Among these is the local train to Budapest-Nyugati, a rural route seeing the use of these noisy diesel locomotives, hauling old local carriages. There's also service across the border into Serbia, these 6 departures using Russian-built diesel units like this one. My train today, though, will be IC 705, the 10:44 intercity service to Budapest-Nyugati station. These intercity services connecting Szeged with Budapest every hour throughout the day. Other platforms are conveniently accessed using the flat crossing by the entrance to the platforms. My train is already waiting in the platform, so let's go take a look. While I'll be trying Hungary's newest carriage today, the majority of my train consists of much older carriages, dating back to the early 1970s, being built in the communist era. I'll be sure to take a look at these very basic carriages later on in the video. And our locomotive is of a similar vintage, with a classic MÁV 431 doing the honours today. This design is well over 60 years old and is encountering an increasing number of reliability problems. Let's hope we make it to Budapest without a hitch. In fact, our modern InterCity Plus carriage almost feels out of place here. Let me know in the comments if you prefer the old or new style of Hungarian railways. It's time to get on board and finally experience Hungary's most luxurious train carriage. I'm travelling in car 19, situated at the front of the train. In here there's an onboard bar, serving drinks and snacks during the journey. The carriage also features a small section of open first-class seating, with a few compartments a bit further on. But I'm travelling here, in a premium first-class compartment. My seat is number 24, a forward-facing window seat. Today's route sees us heading north from Szeged until we reach the junction station of Szeged, from which we'll run fast along the Budapest main line to Budapest-Nyugati station. Journey time is 2 hours 25 minutes, covering 190 kilometres. Our departure towards Budapest is on time, and our journey begins at 10:44. Our service today is named Napfény, which simply means sunshine. And looking at the weather outside today, we've certainly caught it at a good time. As we navigate away from the city of Szeged, there's a small freight yard. No doubt many of these trains are awaiting clearance to continue into Serbia. There's a lot to show in this luxurious premium first-class compartment, so let's dig straight in. Each compartment features 4 comfortable reclining armchairs, cleverly staggered to allow for extra legroom. And these compartments feature a sliding door, keeping things quiet. Now these seats really are incredible, and I'm sure you can tell that just by looking at them. There's absolutely loads of padding, making for a super relaxing experience, while they also pack an ergonomic and comfortable shape. Up here there's a winged headrest, fitted additionally with a soft cushion adorned with a branded cloth. The side of the seat features wide, fixed armrests, and these were also well padded. One of these features the seat's control panel, allowing you to adjust the seat's recline and leg rest. There's also an individual reading light. The other armrest contains a folding table, which can be deployed like so. This was reasonably sized and fairly sturdy, as long as the ride is smooth. We'll get to that later. The room has a small side table by the window, perfect for small personal items or a drink. Each seat also has a personal table, situated to its left. These have a storage pocket at the rear. And whilst this might look like a phone holder, here is the room's electronic control panel, allowing you to manipulate the compartment's temperature and lighting, though for some reason I couldn't get the latter to work. In my opinion, nothing beats the classic button or knob controls. We're arriving at our first station. This is Satimas, a village of around 5,000 people. Despite being an InterCity service, we still make a few calls at smaller settlements along the way to the capital, as there are no alternative trains for much of the day. Another example of this is Kisteleg. We continue towards the capital at a maximum speed of up to 120 kilometers an hour, and often travel slower than this. Remember, this is a new carriage and not a new railway, so journey times and speed limits remain the same. Check out those tiny 2-axle rail bus vehicles. These are MÁV 117 units, often referred to as a busmot. A few of these are sat waiting here in Kiskunfélegyháza, a major regional junction with many services to rural destinations. So let's take a look around the rest of the train. This InterCity Plus carriage has 2 premium first-class compartments. However, also features 2 regular first-class compartments in the traditional style, featuring 6 seats. This is in addition to the first-class open seating in a 2+1 layout that I mentioned earlier. Moving through the train, we reach second class, with seating in a 2+2 layout around tables. This is one of the older carriages, dating back to the mid-1970s, though received a heavy rebuild around the turn of the century. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really a fan of these carriages, but luckily there's another option. And that's where things get confusing. Up until now, everything we've seen has been marketed as an InterCity train, with compulsory reservation and air conditioning. But this train has a duplicate in the timetable with a GY, or fast, classification. And this is actually just a different identity for the exact same train. Think of it like an airline code share. These cheaper tickets are only valid in these older carriages, and you're able to take any available seat. But I actually find these carriages are a better option for second class, even if these 8-seater compartments are pretty cramped when it's busy. Back in the InterCity Plus carriage then, and it's time to visit the bar. MÁV offers a smaller selection here in the bar car than it does in its often lauded full restaurant cars. But there's still a really great selection of drinks, snacks, and even smaller hot meals here. And premium first class passengers receive a complimentary choice of hot drink too. I bought this spinach and feta pie alongside an orange juice. I have to say this was very tasty. But the wooden cutlery I was given was totally useless and just wasn't sharp enough to actually cut anything. This light meal set me back 2,640 Hungarian forint, fairly expensive by Hungarian standards. At the end of the carriage is a pair of toilets. As this was such a new carriage, these toilets were in good condition, and I'm pleased to report were kept clean throughout the journey, something that wasn't always the case on those older carriages. The soap was working fine, as was the water, with a hand dryer also provided. Next up is Kecskemét, a typical Hungarian interchange station. The city lies exactly halfway between Szeged, where we started, and Budapest, our destination. Though is also a significant city in its own right, boasting a population of over 100,000. These carriages are fitted with free Wi-Fi throughout, which was easy to connect to. I couldn't access my speed test or even the onboard portal, though the connection was working fine. Premium first-class compartments also have plenty of power sockets. Each seat has a single European-style socket, with another 2 USB sockets just next to it. Up here is the sunblind, though I can't say this was very effective as it still let a lot of light in. There is plenty of space for luggage here in the premium first-class compartment, with a semi-circular shelf above the seats and windows. Further space is available underneath each seat's table, ideal for heavy items. And each seat also gets 2 coat hooks. About an hour and a half into our journey, we're slowing for our next stop. This is Szeged, another beautiful station. I'm gonna be honest, I kinda wanna visit some of these major interchange stations on a later trip. So let me know which ones are worth a visit. Szeged is also the point where we join the Záhony-Budapest main line. This double-track main line is one of the most important in the country, connecting the capital with major cities such as Debrecen, Nyíregyháza, and the Ukrainian border. Despite this importance though, it has a maximum speed of just 120 kilometres an hour, a clear sign of the lack of development that Hungary's railway infrastructure suffers from. Nearby countries such as the Czech Republic and Poland are already running at 200 kilometers an hour on some major lines, with big plans ahead too. I really am a fan of the design style here on the InterCity Plus. I think the modern styling looks great and represents a true effort to move MÁV away from its reputation as an outdated and uncomfortable experience. Even if this mirror is completely impractical thanks to all the triangles. But these newfangled carriages also have some problems, suffering from poor quality construction and reliability. With loose fittings such as this USB port, or even extreme shaking, this clip being captured on a different carriage. And I actually didn't notice this until I was checking my photos, but look at the blistering and tearing in the paintwork here. Not a good sign for a carriage built in 2022. Eventually, we approach Kőbánya-Kispest, one of the 4 stations served by long-distance trains running into Budapest-Nyugati. And let's talk about how much this trip cost, because I think it's a lot less than you'd expect. My one-way premium first-class ticket cost just 4,464 Hungarian forint, an absolute bargain for the level of comfort on offer here. But act fast. This class of travel is extremely popular on most of its routes, being prone to selling out, even as prices rise. We eventually arrive into Budapest-Nyugati station, with a small delay of 2 minutes, at 13:11. Overall, this was a fantastic journey with MÁV. The new premium first class is a truly revolutionary product for long-distance trains in Hungary, with levels of comfort, luxury and spaciousness never seen before on the country's railways. But this isn't the only luxurious train operating in this part of the world, with the operator Leo Express offering some incredible reclining seats and onboard service, with its fleet of jet black express trains. And that's an experience you can see by clicking up here now.